Welcome to Act Locally. This week we're taking a break from our regular Dream State programming in order to bring you a brand new segment. We're excited to feature two new short works by some talented local writers, Michele Payne Hinz and Thomas Selig. Thanks for joining us, and enjoy. Gift, the Parrot play, written by Michele Payne Hinz. Michele Payne Hinz was last seen on the Dreamwell stage as Marjorie Prime. She wrote this play in response to a bake-off playwriting challenge. This one was from the St. Louis Shakespeare Festival. Other than a play she wrote in high school, this is it. And she's very grateful to Elizabeth and the cast for giving it a voice and an audience. Cast: Mary Hoff Wiedemeyer, Chuck Dufano, Alana Walterhouse, Luke Brooks.
This is Gift, the Parrot play by Michele Payne Hinz. Mary and John sit in their living room. John's playing solitaire and Mary works on a project.
A message from Jason. He says, keep our eyes peeled for a package. He loves us.
Who?
Jason.
Of course he does.
Well, you can't always count on it turning out that way, you know. Give some thought to Christine and Larry's kids.
Are they getting here today?
Who?
Jason and, what's her name?
Tomorrow. Hope
Tomorrow.
you like it.
I shave.
Yes, but that won't get them here today. He says it's a gift. He hopes we like it.
What?
What's in the package, I suppose.
Why the hell are they shipping us something? They'll be here today, later today.
Tomorrow. And how should I know?
Be right back.
Putting these things away. John? John? John!
Mary enters. Seeing no one, she disappears down the short hallway and can be heard opening the front door.
John!
John returns to the living room.
What?
The package is here.
What? Huh.
They struggle in with a large cardboard box.
I'll get my box cutter.
You think we should open it? Maybe we should wait till they get here.
Why?
Maybe they want to see us open it. See our expression. You sure we like it? Get the box cutter. John? For crying out loud, John!
Right where I left it.
Maybe we should wait. I mean, we don't know her very well. Maybe in her family, it's rude to open presents without, you know what I mean. Open them secretly. So you get a chance to, fix your face. I'm a little nervous about them coming. Jason and...
What's her name?
Allison. I'm sure it's Allison. You talked to her. We FaceTimed with them, like back in April.
If you say so.
Seems kind of diva-ishy.
Okay. About the box.
Your family at Christmas. Remember your family at Christmas? Everyone taking turns, and there was oohing and awing, and a discussion of every possible attribute of the present, and hearty rounds of praise for the thoughtful person who, and the wrapping. Praise to high heaven for the wrapping and the bows on every last present. And we start in at 10, usually after a cup of coffee and a full breakfast, omelets. And when it was time to go to my parents' place, we'd be not even halfway through.
Been holding that in, have you?
I couldn't do it. I never had enough words to satisfy them.
It's not Christmas. They're dead, you know, my folks.
Mine too. Oh, go ahead.
We hear sounds of a box being ripped apart. A large standing bird cage is revealed, a bedraggled parrot swinging gently on the trapeze.
Well, it's a parrot.
John reaches in and gives the swing a push.
It's a dead parrot.
Well, of course, it's a dead parrot.
Maybe he's stunned.
Of course he's not stunned.
Of course he's not. He's pushing up daisies, he is. Join the bleeding choir invisible.
What are you on about?
This is an ex-parrot. Monty Python, dead parrot sketch. Okay. What's important here is we have a dead parrot.
Taxidermied.
Thoughtful of them.
Oh, dear God. They're pulling in on the driveway.
What?
Hide it!
Hide it. Hide it. They're in the driveway right now. They probably passed the truck.
Mary tries frantically to reassemble the box around the bird cage.
They sent it, for God's sakes. Mary, they can see it on their phone. It's been delivered.
All right. Let them in.
There's a scuffle of greetings at the front door.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, Jason, let me give you a hug.
Oh, good hug, Mom. You can let go now.
Well,
Mom, this is Emily.
Mary, meet Emily.
oh, Emily, of course. So good to see you again. Well, FaceTime is wonderful, isn't it? But still not the same as being in the same room.
Hey, look what came.
I see that. There's a story behind that.
I bet there is. Can't wait to hear it. Why don't you guys take your things up right upstairs, Jason? You know the way.
After some skirmishing with luggage and backpacks, Jason and Emily go off.
Well, I call that rude. Whisking them off like that.
That's not the same girl.
What?
That's not the girl from April.
Well, not Allison. Emily, I got that.
Don't know who the girl in April was. Could have been an Allison, but this is not the girl from April. This one is Emily.
Well, thank you then for being rude. Do you think she noticed?
I'm sure she didn't. We were very smooth.
Jason?
Maybe Jason. Well, he's known us longer.
You're sure? I mean, how can you be so sure?
The girl in April, whose name might have been Allison, she was beautiful.
Well, this Emily is kind of plain.
But he loves her.
He thinks she's beautiful.
She is, because he loves her.
He leans in and gives her a little kiss. Scene 2, later. The four sit together in a clutter of takeout containers and empty bottles.
Of course, that was back when every kid was a free-range kid. We'd be arrested now.
It's a good story, Mom.
Well, I think I'm gonna go warm up the bed.
Us too, I think. I mean, we'll head on up. Good dinner, Mom.
Good. Good night. Good night.
Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night. It's a family thing. In my family, if we're all together when we go to bed, that I shall say good night.
Till it be.
Till it be morrow.
Good night. I had a lovely evening.
She disappears.
I like her.
Me too.
Coming up?
In a minute.
John goes off. Mary tidies a little more and pours herself the last of the wine or whiskey or coffee. She may have to try a few bottles to find some. She sits down and talks to the audience.
Jason. Oh, thanks, Mom, for making Emily feel welcome. Love you. I never liked my in-laws. It took me till they were dead to realize they didn't much like me either. Would, to be honest, have preferred someone else. Someone less bookish, more stylish, more grateful. Christmas was the worst. So much forced good cheer. So much. Just so much. One year I was 19, maybe 20, and I'm probably wearing a white t-shirt and unwrapping my gift. And John's father is saying, "Oh, I used to love buying those for Billy when we were courting." He used words like courting, and he just looked so smug. And it was a blouse, a button-up blouse, and the pattern was stirrups and saddles and horses' heads. And what can you say? What on earth can you say? And I could see them thinking, those little thought bubbles above their heads. exchanging looks. Oh, she's so hard to please. Think how much that cost. Sad, really. Well, that was a long time ago, and you want to hear the story about the parrot. It's a good story. The parrot belonged to Emily's grandparents. It was alive then. Emily says that after her mother and uncles moved out, marriage, the service, usual reasons, not bad feelings, it kind of became the kid left at home. When Emily's mother would call home, she'd always ask to talk to the parrot. It only seemed polite, Emily's mom said. Parrots can live a long time, so when Emily's grandparents died, both the same year, the parrot was still alive and went to live with Emily's bachelor uncle. He was a drinker and lived in Iowa, and there was a flood. He came home one day and he fell right asleep on the couch, passed out, I imagine. And when he woke up, there was 2 feet of water in his living room. I imagine he was addled the way you are when you wake up, and things aren't the way you expect them to be. And the only thing he grabbed as he left the house, wading through the water halfway up his shins, was the bird, cage, and pedestal, and all. Well, of course, it was just as flooded outside his house as it was inside, and he walked, he always said, a mile south, sloshing along, the water gradually getting lower and lower, clutching the bird stand, the cage swinging wildly, and the bird squawking and flapping till he was on dry land again. He knocked on the nearest door, and they let him use the phone to call Emily's parents. So both the parrot and the uncle ended up living at Emily's house. The uncle sobered up, and the parrot lived to die of old age. They couldn't bear to part with it, so Emily's dad took it to a taxidermist, who Emily said really enjoyed stuffing it, made a change from pheasants. 86, they thought it was, and now it's ours. Her parents were downsizing and wondering about the parrot's fate when Emily said, "I think Jason's parents would like it." No adequate explanation from her, at least as far as I'm concerned, why she might say that. But the funny thing is, I do like it. I wondered why her parents would let it out of the family, but I think I know. They must have seen what I see. It will be ours for a while, and then we will gift it back to Emily and Jason, because that's the way things are going between them. And that's lovely. She gives good gifts. Well, I'm going to bed. Good night. Good night. Come on. Parting is such sweet sorrow. You got this. That I shall say, good night till it be morrow.
Mary disappears in the direction of her bedroom. Light comes up on the parrot, and we see it's not the taxidermied parrot, but a preening, flapping, dancing one, very much alive.
Jericho Days, written by Thomas Cilek. Thomas Selig is a native of Iowa City, earning his MFA in sculptural installation from Cranbrook Academy of Art. He has acted in numerous dramas and comedies, starring as Oscar Madison in Neil Simon's The Odd Couple, Macbeth in William Shakespeare's Macbeth, and Slim in Sam Shepard and Patti Smith's Cowboy Mouth. He has been writing for over 30 years and is currently working on a new play entitled Baby Breath Mythmaker. A giant thanks to Divine and Erin for tonight's production of Jericho Days, and especially to Elizabeth Ross for bringing this play to life. Cast: Divine Huff and Erin Mills. Divine Huff told us she's so excited and humbled to perform with Dreamwell Theater again. And we are so happy to have her back. Always great working with you, Divine. Divine was last seen at Dreamwell in 448 Psychosis. She has her master's in applied drama and theater for the young from Eastern Michigan University. Erin Mills has performed locally with Dreamwell, Iowa City Community Theater, Combined Efforts, and in Mary Swander's Vang. Her most recent productions include 448 Psychosis at Dreamwell and Blood Wedding at ICCT. Always a pleasure to work with you, Erin. Glad you're back. Jericho Days, written by Thomas Cilek.
I really do need to work on my anxieties. I hate feeling nervous and freaked out. It's a sickening phobia that I have a serious problem that keeps haunting me into the fragile corners. I want to feel great, the best that I could be. Now this, the feeling of shrinking isolation and alienation, the feeling of chilly pins and needles across my chest and limbs, crazy nervous energy. Maybe I'll never be able to face people again. I pray by the sound of squawking geese that I can. Say a prayer for me. I would really, really appreciate that. When I'm consumed with dark anxieties, the world spins. It's like a merry-go-round turned sideways on itself, grotesque and defeating. I can't think straight. I can't feel straight. Everything is like a falling elevator inside with nothing attached. I'm scared out of my mind while still trapped inside. Do you know this feeling? I've swallowed the demon seed, seeing worrisome behavior taking over my life. As I once said to myself as Josephine Jericho, pedal hard and coast while you can. But I'm not coasting today. I need work. That's why I've decided to auction off all my brilliant ideas to the first gazelle I see. So far, it's just giraffes and cheetahs, but I'm hoping to land gold. They think I'm crazy. Some eccentric baby dolphin searching for a man. I'm searching to change. I need a break from the dark reality. Can you dig? Josephine Jericho, who steps outside of herself in irony. She only has to somewhat make sense. I can make her even more flippant. You dig? I mean, African American, age 44, a hippie who hates hippies. I'm black as beans and sticky as pine tar in the sack. That's right. Afro-American, adopted, Spanish mother, Native American father. Yeah, I fancy myself a Spanish actress like my mother. I'm just cold reading now. I don't make excuses for skipping a beat. I'm the queen of the Nile, Hank. If you think you'd like to act with me, go ahead. Give it your best shot, but be prepared to improvise. I'm currently in a production called Girl in the Corner. It's a real life story about a girl and her mother fighting through poverty. And guess what? My mother and I are the main characters. An autobiography, you know? In it for the long haul. In it for the punches and the blankets. Yeah. My father died of heart disease years ago and left us girls to fend. It's been nothing but a cat fight with the real world. Yeah. Not so funny with the public. Finding work is rough. That's why I must sell my intelligent ideas to the Gazelle family. You think I'm crazy? I'm just being Josephine Jericho complete. I have no brothers or sisters, adopted alone years and years ago. Now, in adulthood, swinging my paws like the mad woman of Detroit. But I don't live in Detroit. I live in a micro universe. I can't tell you where because I can't find it half the time. It's small, very, very small. Do you ever feel scared and confused, like monkeys are crashing in? That's us. Maybe not mom, but me. Gotta sell my ideas. Make a fortune for the safari. The leopards and pumas are depending on me. Maybe even the cheetahs. Yeah, the cheetahs too. Josephine Jericho, friends of the animals, enemy of the people galore. I can't seem to let myself do things because I get so paralyzed, but being frightened of everything is no excuse to keep writing in circles about it. I'm trying, really trying to get out of this well, but it's scary. I keep saying, if I could just find a great job to hoist us out of this mess. There's little romantic in poverty, other than moments you share in poetics and diary. The suffering tries to extinguish itself through efforts of employment. Nothing comes. It's blackness, darkness, even catatonia, you know? Staring off into space because you're so shell-shocked and drilled in grief when the worries escalate. Mom says how lucky I am to have writing through this. She's right. I know she's absolutely right. Still, I feel so lost in bewilderment. So hard to see. The forest is dizzying to me. Society is really scary sometimes. And so I write like I am now, when my head is crippled of all activity. I try to manage letters. Sometimes just sit just doesn't work. Yeah. I've been knocked down several pegs with poverty. I never imagined being here. Seems like geological time. Centuries gone by with no money for toilet paper. My mom hurts, but she handles it better than me. I just claw and scratch. She paints. At least it seems that way. Maybe with everything I've ever said, I do romanticize things. A dreamer. Josephine Jericho. Still a damn dream queen. Yeah. Forever avoiding the tough questions because she's concerned with the next paragraph. Living for language. Loving the lingua franca. You dig? Trying to spread letters on bread to make Tanqueray and rye. I know who I am. It's quite distinguishing to some, but then they don't dream of cutting up their socks into strips to wipe themselves. That's what you do when you're poor. You rely on frugality to lift you. That and the murder of geese under your nose coming from the park every night. If they ever do recognize my work, maybe I'll still be alive to see it. 80, 90, maybe just dead. I'm not entirely mummified now. And so I sneak this in, little words of hope and faith to carry me somewhere, anywhere but here. I miss opportunity. I miss mental health. I even miss the sunshine. With all three, I might have half a chance at living. Even with one, I could be happy.
But you're happy now, Josephine. You're full of vivacity.
I'm not happy. I fake it. I'm a charlatan.
With me, you fake it?
I used to years ago. You know how sad I am.
But we must pay the rent, darling. We must keep the castle building alive. Otherwise,
you get people like me pontificating about hardship. It's quite sickening.
Don't say that, dear. You're an ancient soul.
I am an ancient soul. And you and I are poor as church mice. It's no way to go, Mom.
But it's what we have. I want you to remember to hang on to the hopeful prayers. Without hope, there really is sickness. At least faith gives us food. Food for the engine, dear. You even told me this when I was down.
And I meant it once. Anymore, I've lost sight of the goal. I've lost sight in general. I can't envision Mom like I used to.
But you have your diary. That's something.
And now you're going to say most people who suffer have nothing.
Right.
Because with addiction, we have torment, and with torment, brutal purgatory.
And less hope.
Yes.
Do you think you might want to take a nap, dear? It will take the edge off.
Do you ever wonder where we'll be?
In a year?
Maybe 5.
Not anymore. I'm too old to worry about it. But you, I can see why you would.
But sometimes I don't want to. Sometimes I hate the whole charade of projecting and preparing.
And dreaming?
Well,
Josie, you have so much to live for. I'm old, but you're still young enough to care. Sure, I care about my days, but you run into this with ill people. They start to see life differently. I don't want you to give up hope. Somehow, I always knew you wouldn't quit, and you haven't. But losing hope is the first step. It's a great detriment. Things can happen.
Things.
Losing hope sometimes does lead to addiction. Worse, it can leave you black and blue. Imagine addiction and this combined. It's lethal. Remember what I say, dear. Please don't say that your life is over.
All those people, they have it worse.
Yes.
The lady who's physically challenged, the gay guy on welfare, they're worse.
Much worse. And we should recognize this as so. God's signs, really. I see them as messengers put here by God to show us to ourselves, for us to see how lucky we are to be alive.
Alive?
Yes, Josie, alive and experiencing beautiful humanity that exists among us. These little gestures, Joe, these little everyday gestures can change lives. Really, you may not believe me, but it happens. I've seen it in my life. People move to do incredible things for each other, helped to go on to help others. Humanitarianism really is contagious if you let it shine.
The sun.
Yes, your blessed son, Josie. Your God's eye view and sixth sense, but you must let it in. You must let the light spread. Give it a chance. You're trying everything with employment. Give it a chance.
Mom, writing is a drug. It's an addiction that I can't quit, but I don't want to.
Maybe the only addiction in the world that's good for you.
Everybody goes through a phase as a writer when they think they're the next Shakespeare. I'm over it. It's a drug for survival. It's like a vaccine. I couldn't quit if I wanted to. So often I'm in the trenches when I write, but I don't want to be. I wish for an earlier time. Maybe I hope for that.
And you hope your life will improve.
So often I'm almost incapable of even that. I'm so paralyzed, like today. I can't even muster the thoughts. I'm tired, Mom. I'm really, really tired.
You should sleep. You should sleep.
I just want a sense of reprieve in my life. I want a damn rest from the horrors. The horrors, they plague me. Do you know? Do you know what I mean? Am I making sense?
You're making perfect sense, dear.
Then how come I feel this way? How come I feel so miserable all day long while I'm supposed to be finding employment?
You need rest, dear. You need your sleep.
Have I lost dreaming?
We must never lose dreaming or we lose hope. Hope and dreaming are intrinsic. They are tied for life. When you sleep tonight, remember to keep hope alive. Dream hopeful things. Dream of better days and better days than today. Dream of soft pillows and warm tapestries. Dream of being someone's laughter. You can if you let yourself. Just float there.
Doesn't it depress you to be around the apartment with me so lethargic? I mean, the dark air is one thing, but me moping around like a bard with a candlestick makes for struggling suffering. I'm sorry if I'm a downer. I don't mean to be. But life is proving strategic. My fucking teeth hurt. I mean, my heart is ailing from unemployment. When beached with sadness, it's hard to find the oyster ocean. I dig like an archaeologist day and night in the middens of my soul, and still no fossils or bones. I've been dusting the dust off of dust for weeks. It's just an empty cache. Revamping the spreadsheet, redoing the resume, investing in your future, not lying around. Hey, I haven't been lying around. It's just that I'm not having any luck. Isn't this the first step in transforming my life? The worries are tenfold. They multiply in a separation anxiety like theme. I know you get it because you told me you felt like a bobber in the ocean, bouncing along amidst the cutting brine with not a clue as to what to do. That's a scary analogy, being so engulfed and overwhelmed amidst such towering mass. How did you ever deal with your undulations? Without survival, the bell tolls for hunchbacks and nocturnal creatures, maybe even vampires who are lonely to the bone. That's why they feast on us. I need air. I need to lift like a goose or a hawk and get on with myself. I know some people are poorer than us, but it's a lesson nonetheless.
I am proud of us, Josie.
Proud of the frugality? I'm just so proud of the way I wear my t-shirt backwards with a sports coat to hide the stains and holes. Someone from behind can put pins in my pocket.
And the toilet. We don't flush it as often.
And the grocery bags for garbage bags.
And the dishwashing liquid for laundry detergent.
What about running the coffee 2 to 3 times?
Going to the food pantry has helped immensely, dividing a pound of beef to make 2 meals.
I'm just sick of scrimping all the time. I want to buy you something nice.
Like an area rug or decorating supplies.
Yes, decorating supplies. You've gone so long without.
It's okay, Josie. It's okay.
No, it's not. We need things. I need a job.
But you're trying.
But nothing is happening.
You muster the energy. That's something.
Everything when you're dark.
Yes, everything. I don't know how you do it, darling. Some people would have just folded by now.
What about you? You keep us both going with your idealism and hope. I would never be coherent without your support.
That's sweet.
It's true. You don't give yourself enough credit.
We'll make it. That's the important thing.
Surviving the madness. You read, I write. We pass the time filling our intellects. I can't remember the last time we went out to eat. But our picnics, now, they are nice memories.
I can dream, but I'm actually pretty content. Poverty has taught us to do without, and sometimes anxieties fade away. We do pretty well. We're making it.
I know, but I just want security in savings. It's terrifying not having enough money. What about Tuscany, Paris? Do you still dream about that?
I have my decorating books. Somehow
I guess.
you have dreams of performing again, writing something, getting up there like before.
It dies every day in me. I'm supposed to be memorizing material right now, but I slip. It's hard hanging on to the someday when you're hanging.
Take a break, darling. Take a break. Rest your head. When you wake, the world will be tolerable. That's the magic of sleep.
Sometimes I wish I could prove the world wrong and succeed beyond my own expectations. I wish my time would come and stay. I'm so bitter with the ghosts talk behind my back. They don't know the real story. People gab. They make shit up to satisfy their ugly tastes. Unless you walk a mile in someone else's shoes, you really don't know. Well, those people don't. They're sinister bastards who probably broke a nail and call it a problem. You might think I'm exaggerating, but I've heard the railroading. Josephine is lazy. Josephine isn't a self-starter. Josephine just bumbles through life. You know what, Mom? They're all wrong. I can reach a goal sheet better than anyone. I just happen to be down right now. Hit you when you're down, club you when you're hurting. Josephine is a baby seal. It's smack her in the skull. It's just sick. I don't feel sorry for myself when I hear it. I become infuriated. Then I reach calm. They don't have a passion craft to fall back on. They just have fat to chew. Some life-chewing fat over other people's problems. I find that disgusting, quite sickening and sad, really. What do I know? I'm just Josephine, the bartering bum who can't get a job and who has no goal to give in her life. Thanks a lot. You just make a beauty queen.
Josie, you are a doll to me.
And a billy goat to so many.
I pray.
And probably meditate.
Yes, I do that too.
But don't you get angry?
Sometimes, but I see that it does no good to worry about what people think. It's out of my control. I just pray to God for better days, for moments of less strife. And I live the best I can.
I have trouble praying.
But you meditate.
Yeah.
Without knowing.
Yeah.
Well, that's like praying.
I guess.
People call it different things. Did you happen to check the mail today?
Why?
There might be a big fat check written out to you.
The eternal optimist.
Scene 2.
I want to work. I try to work, but no one will hire me. If they only saw my level of commitment and passion, then maybe they'd give me a chance. On paper, they want to see resilience on a resume without using that word. How am I to get their attention after so many rejections? Rewrite the resume. Make another version of the cover letter. Blah, blah, blah. I don't even want the damn job to begin with. You rewrite and rewrite so many times, you can't even decipher the damn thing. You go blind. You can't see your own damn work. You can't get perspective. I'm not blaming you, Carla. I'm blaming me for being in this sickening situation. What would you suggest I do? Short of going back to college at age 44 to never work again? I'm bitter, frustrated, pissed off, angry, enraged, and confused, bewildered, and generally contemptible. Nothing ever happens for me. That's not an exaggeration. I'm never rewarded for my work. I never catch a big break. It's just shit. There. Write it. Say it. Shout it. Big deal. I'm embarrassed, ashamed, humbled, depressed. I really hate outside comments from people. Who the hell are they anyway? What the hell have they gone through to make a comment on my life? If they really knew, they'd shut their fat mouths. I'm terrified out of my wits for the future to come. I wish like a hawk something would change, but nothing. I really am shooting for the stars, Carla. I admit it. Think about it. That's what angers me so. I go through all these scenarios that in the end mean nothing. They call me sick. I'd say I'm pretty damn healthy to be admitting it.
I think you should rewrite the resume and your cover letter.
You do?
Yes.
And then what? Spend my days waiting?
What's your other choice? You need a job. You're in dark poverty. Finding the way to reach out is the only answer I'm coming up with.
So I try again.
You try and try again. The only one-way game. Something is bound to break.
My damn psyche is gonna break. Not psychosis again. I hate working while drained and full of phobia.
But you could write about it.
Of course. Of course. I'm always writing in diary. It's just unfortunate at this age that I'm not more secure. Climbing out sure is the pits. I'd much rather write something than work on my resume. I don't have the passion some people have for applications. I think it's a waste of a human soul.
But you need to do it.
Yes, I do. The sad truth is that I need to keep squirming in this godforsaken maze. I feel like a lost rat, the last rat in the labyrinth of no end. It's a crazy conundrum full of funny mirrors and trap doors. It's dark, the darkest you can imagine. I see apparitions and hallucinations of demons and tortured figures. And now I'm back to this psycho bullshit erupting, grotesque reality. I don't want to face it. I don't want anything to do with it. But I'm so stuck, tarred and feathered, separated from the things I love. On 3 mood stabilizers now, a wicked climb out, this bullshit neurosis.
I still take the anxiety meds, plus lithium twice a day. I'm finding time to write again.
Good. You need that outlet. Journal work is the king for ceasing in a tormenting journey of the mind. It's the great interpreter, as the employers don't call and the agents don't email. An upsetting racket to be in, I'm out of answers. I can't keep tally of the worries. Have you ever wanted to run, to jump on a falling star and just free fall like a suicide beetle into the ocean? To see where the waves will take you? Not to die, to live fully and expertly without fail. I'm like a wolf alone in the timbers, reaching for a mate. Every day I come to see if they're there, and every day it's empty. Still, I try. I don't give up on love because in my heart, I believe in synchronicity. Too much strychnine over the years has poisoned my soul. Maybe I'm tattered, unable to comprehend reality any longer. And so I dream. I fantasize that some princess in furs will miraculously arrive. In high school, they called me a dreamer and a lost soul. 30 years later, the bonfires have spread like a disease tearing through me, the illogical flight of the stubborn warble metastasizing forevermore. But the inter-involvement never died. I know I'm suffering, but at least I'm dimming with pride. Maybe that's the very thing that's killing me. Maybe I'm boring you to tears.
You're not boring me. I'm inspired to live again.
I think I'm falling in love with you.
What?
In love with you. I'm loving your voice right now. You sound cute.
Josephine, we've been friends a long time. Please don't tell me you're...
In love with you?
I don't know what to say.
Warp speed of love, Carla. Why don't we try?
I could help you. I'm good with words.
If it's too fast, I can slow. Gotta make love last, you know?
You're rhyming, silly.
And you're deciding if we can make a go at this.
What about your job?
I'll get a damn job. You can write my cover letter.
You need to burn again.
In love.
When's the last time you really wrote, feeling that continental shift?
Maybe forever.
When's the last time your words glowed with fire and rhapsody inside, and you left completely mesmerized?
Maybe years ago, when I had to lay my dog to rest.
You wrote with fire?
I had good reason to shape letters.
You could get that fire back, you know.
I have fire,
I mean in creation.
but I'm creating you. You're simply radiant.
You're sweet.
We could be, you know,
What?
like dot to dot with the stars,
A comet's ray?
or an exploding star. They still do, you know,
What?
explode.
Yes.
So,
I'm scared
of me?
of us as a coupling. It's been so long for me that maybe I'm the lone wolf. I'm shy. The result of two personalities like us could be a hailstorm. Do you really want a neurotic for a girlfriend? I can't believe that we're talking about this. I've already said too much. Shut me up, Josie.
There. That's the best that I can do. Now, will you?
Believe? Scene 3.
The impending doom I've so heavily implored God to prevent. I don't know what else to do but keep trying. I can't beg to the Lord. I can pray for change. I can even worry myself into oblivion. They call it irony, I think. I'm very burned out of using lexicons attributed to woe. They're tiresome and serve up knots. Maybe I'm wishing zaniness were a part of my life to counterbalance the deep mire of morbidity. You decide, Josie. I feel like broken eggshells distributing calcium to plants.
I know you're trying, Mom. We both are. How are we supposed to predict the car not starting for you today? We're both just exhausted. When your phone call came, I felt a chill go up my back like a sewing machine stapling my vertebrae. Our luck is horrendous. Like you said, we must not be doing something right to have all these problems. The car is just a thorn. How, I pray, isn't something worse than the battery?
So we'll hang together, because that's what we do.
Ophelia's suicide.
So, change.
I'm trying. God, I am. When you're in it?
Hard to think otherwise.
Yes.
And when we forget, everything is dandy.
That's why I don't want to drift too far.
Agree? But you will invite it. You will welcome the morbidity. Fight it. Fight it, Josephine.
I try.
Try harder, child. Fight like you've never fought before.
Mom, I am. I'm just so scared.
Of failing?
Of everything. I'm terrified to breathe most days for fear I'll break in two.
We must hang together, baby. It's the only way.
Yes.
Otherwise, the devil wins. He muddies our faces and goes away laughing.
No.
No, no. As a team, we won't tolerate that.
Right.
As a team, we call the shots, even when distraught.
Because we're survivors.
Yes. Like I always say, we're survivors. We're a team who must never ever let go until God take us.
From Earth.
Yes, from this flowering petri dish called life. Do you feel better, darling?
I feel bewildered in our state.
But you'll write something different?
I promise I'll try.
Life is short, too brief for constant crossbows to the heart, too short for tides to drag us under, even too short to waste on pessimistic slings. You're my pal, Josie. We're sticking together on this one.
Mom?
Yes, baby.
There's a hair on your nose.
From my head?
Or maybe mine. Do you want me to get it?
I want you to write your way out of this, to build an airplane that will fly us out of poverty.
That would be nice.
A glider to zoom over cities and drop propaganda. And an airdrop of food relief for the needy. How does that sound?
It sounds like teamwork.
Exactly.
Counterparts in woe.
Yes.
Maybe even zookeepers in the Bronx.
Okay.
I want to escape this torment, this typeset of horror in my skull. I'm desperate, Mom. I'm desperate.
We are not desperate with each other. Remember, we're a team. We're a very strong team. We avenge death.
I hope you're right. Being scared is as old as your toes.
Or the hinges on your ankles. Now, sleep, darling. Rest your Spanish eyes before they weep again. BJ is going to loan us the money. Oh, let's cook her something as a token of our appreciation. But first, we must cash her check to buy the ingredients.
I don't feel like laughing.
You feel like surviving with planted feet.
Yes.
Comedy at a time like this is unimaginable.
It would be nice to write something, but
It's unfathomable.
Unfathomable.
How long before we belly laugh again? It seems so foreign, the thought of us crackling our brains out like we used to. I miss those days, Josephine. The days we have now are heavy.
Maybe when I start working.
I just hate the pressure on yourself, drilled with stress.
I'm afraid.
To laugh?
For fear something will go wrong.
Poverty.
I'm sorry.
You mustn't apologize.
Of course. I'm just messed up in the head. I wish someone would call. Then I'd be better. While my hair gets greasier and anxiety clumps. Look at me. I haven't showered in days, maybe weeks.
We'll make it, Josie. We'll make it.
It's been so long already.
The rough times will pass.
Unsurmountable.
Unsurmountable?
I'm here, Mom. I'm not going anywhere.
I'm here too.
How do I escape fear?
Practice changing your thinking. It's wicked in its reign.
I don't want to stress.
Like a bullet at your age. Time slips away, Josie. Into a new future. Into a forgotten past. We're going to make it through. You're going to get a good job, and we'll get over this.
I worry incessantly, Mom. I'm plagued.
Hopeful thoughts are comforting. We need hopeful prayers. I think of exotic places.
That's not realistic.
But it makes me feel better. One worry at a time, dear.
Otherwise, the landslide.
Stress like an avalanche.
A smile changes everything.
And the worries aren't overtaking you.
I guess.
Think of Jackie. She died yesterday after her body finally shut down. Imagine how John feels. Immense loss. But he must endure. And our plight for sunny days, it's our mission for a better future.
I love you, Mom.
And remember, when feeling down, just look to the skies to play dot to dot with the stars. Find your little girl. No longer two little girls in the corner, but a dynamic partnership of strength. Strength and hope, Joe. Survival. But we always have each other, right? You know, spiders weave us God's eyes too. There are prisms in their silk, like silver bullet trains in the threads. How nice of Mother Nature. Be careful not to overlook the color wheels. There's spin and sparkle in your life, making idealism possible. When your father died, a priest said something very important to me. Juanita, to die void of hope is one of life's saddest moments. To live void of hope is avoidable. The way to that is to practice intent. He taught me how to set goals and make lists. Meeting the self was his agenda. He taught me cadence and breath. You have this naturally, Joe. I want you to be more aware of it and to use it to the best of your ability. You have great resilience for your age, so much potential and talent. Don't give up on life. Make that promise, baby. Stay open to bubbles and pinwheels.
Thanks for joining us for our very first segment of Act Locally. And thanks again to our excellent first contributors, Michele Payne Hinz and Thomas Selig. If you'd like to contribute, please email elizabeth@dreamwell.com. Join us next week when we return to our regularly scheduled programming.